So I just wanted to go into self-care and talk a little bit about that. And there's so many different ways to do it. Like there's not just one way that everyone needs to take care of themselves. Like we all have different requirements and needs and all these different things. So like pretty much everyone, or at least everyone that I know, like we all want to help other people. Like it's such a great idea and it's such a great desire to have, like, you know, to have compassion and to go out in the world and to do what we do best in order to help people. So, and there's so many different ways to help people. Like some people are lawyers and they help people that way. Some people are nurses and doctors and they help people that way. There's some people are, you know, like work with nature. There's so many different ways to do it, and we're all a very important piece of the puzzle. Everyone's skills and abilities are equally important. Nobody has like a better skill than anybody else. Of course, society makes it that way, and places, you know, that there's like this hierarchy of like, oh, if you have this job, then you're better, or yeah, that's not right. So we're all equally important. So as far as having something to draw from, when we're going to be going out in the world and helping others and doing what we're being called to do, we need to really focus on having self-care as a priority. There's no way around it. Like if our cup is not full, we can't go and do something else outside in the world to help other people or help the planet or whatever it is that you're helping. So that's why self-care is so important. And some people might confuse self-care with self-indulgence, and those two are not the same thing. Like, I know it's a really common thing to say, oh, I really deserve to go shopping and I'm really going to care for myself this way. And shopping can be great because, you know, if there's something that you need, then, you know, and if you're going to go get that for yourself, then you are caring for yourself. But just shopping for the sake of shopping itself and having that experience, that's more of an indulgence than it is self-care. So I just wanted to touch on things like that, or just like, you know, I deserve like to eat cake and there's nothing wrong with eating cake, but that's not necessarily self-care. That's more of just allowing yourself to indulge, which is okay. Like it's, you know, don't feel guilty for doing those things every once in a while, and only you can work out your own system with yourself to guide yourself with like, okay, how much are you going to allow yourself to do that, and how much are you going to come back to your like more so of a self-care routine. So what self-care really means to me is just coming back to me. That is the most important thing. I've noticed like in the past couple days, like for 2 days, I was more externally driven. And what I mean by that is like I was working on these projects for more so of like my career side of who I am. And I didn't really make as much time to come back to me. And so what ended up happening was last night I woke up in the middle of the night. Well, first of all, last night, because when we don't care for ourselves, we can tend to feel like emptier inside. So that's kind of when we start indulging and maybe overeating and eating. So last night I made this amazing vegan gluten-free ramen, which was, I came home at 7, which was really late for me. So I just threw it together and it turned out really yummy. I added some avocado and seaweed, and then I stayed up a little bit too late, and I've been doing that a little bit too much lately. So I'll have to pull myself back. But I was up until, I noticed like around 11 I started getting a little bit hungry. So I ate like a whole avocado before I went to bed, which is actually okay. Like I did hear that it's okay to eat like a healthy fatty food right before bed. So of course there's going to be mixed opinions about that. But anyway, back to the point. So for 2 days I wasn't really like coming back. I wasn't really like doing my meditation practice or just my, like, I don't know, I have this practice that maybe I'll explain it later, but anyway, I wasn't doing that. And so I woke up. Not only did I feel a little bit more like I needed food before bed, I felt a little bit more empty, but I woke up in the middle of the night, and sometimes I do this thing where I wake up at 3 a.m. and I know there's always a reason for it, but I woke up and I knew that there was something going on, and I could already tell like before I went to bed. So my body was telling me that there was something I needed to do, and for those 2 days where I wasn't like focused on connecting with my inner self, I did feel a little bit more numb. Like I didn't feel pain, but I didn't really feel that like openness that I feel when I come back to connecting with myself, like I didn't feel that, like, I don't know, there's just like this tingly vibration, and it just feels more open and just more connected with everything. So yeah, I felt a little bit numb when I didn't do my routine. And so I woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I knew that there was a reason why I was up. So I was trying to figure out what that was. And so I started writing in my journal, and just getting things out, and like I had to meditate too. Like I had to really like come back to myself, and then I was able to fall back asleep. And it's just that it's a, for me it's a feeling. Like I'm definitely a very strong feeler. So like I know when I'm feeling off and something's not right, or I'm feeling blocked, like I've blocked myself from being myself or with myself. Still trying to figure all that stuff out. But so yeah, I reconnected to myself. It took me about like an hour to like actually do all this, and then I went back to bed around 5 a.m. and I fell asleep until, I don't know, like 8:30. So yeah, that was just a reminder for me to always make sure every single day, it's so important for me to come back and just re-experience the feeling of like connectedness. And it's definitely a conscious decision to make every day, and like even every moment, because it doesn't just happen like completely naturally. I mean, it depends on, you know, what you're going through and your experiences. Like there's certain experiences in life that you can have to open up, that will help you open up, like open your heart, or different areas of your body that might need opening. But if you're not having like those types of experiences from the outside, because a lot of times what we do is like we focus a lot on these outside experiences in order to help us. But like if we're not like manifesting that, and it's just not happening, then we have to find a way to do it ourselves. So, and we can do pretty much anything. Like there is no limit. For now, I just wanted to touch on self-care and how eating is a really important part of that too, and how important it is to just take some time, like every day, if not making whole days for yourself, to find ways to take care of yourself. And also, like, taking care of yourself doesn't mean like you need something, or you need to physically do something. It can just mean like for me, sometimes I'll just spend more time with myself, like whether that's at home and doing stuff like, and being at home, or being in nature with myself. So I guess I can talk a little bit about, it's kind of like, you know, children, like what they need the most, and what they usually want the most, is they just want your time. You know, if you're a parent or a family member, like children just want to be like spend time with you. They just want you to spend time with them, and like play with them and engage with them. People showed that they cared for us just simply by spending time with us. So we all have an inner child within that really wants you to spend time with it. At least I do, so I can only really speak for myself because we're all different, but I do know that we all have an inner child. So I take time to spend time with myself in that respect, and I'll play with my inner child, and it just brings out, like, you know, we all have these different parts of us that need attention. So and that will come out when it's ready to come out, and maybe you'll start having certain, like I'll start having certain thoughts from the past that I might need to heal and work with. So I'll come back there, but yeah, that's also a little bit more into depth. I just keep wanting to go like really deep. So I spend a lot of time cooking for myself, because I just like the energy that goes into the food when I cook it. Like I feel more nourished and I feel more full. And I've talked to friends about this too. Like it seems like to be a thing that when you cook for yourself, you tend to, I don't know, it just tends to do something, and like it just brings out more like energy. I made this amazing ramen last night for dinner, and it was so simple to make. So I'll just like go ahead and talk you through the process for doing it, because it's just, I made it relatively quickly because I came home late at 7, which is late for me. And yeah, it's just really easy to do. So I just boiled water in a pot. So fill the pot with water, put on the stove, turn the stove on. I have these, sometimes I'll make like emergency chickpeas. So what I mean by that is I'll soak, I do it all from like the dried chickpeas. I'll get like organic dried chickpeas from the bulk section. It's a lot cheaper. And so I will soak them overnight, and then I will cook them, and I'll put them in a Tupperware for when I need to eat them later. So just to make sure that I always have enough protein. So once the water starts boiling, I just put some veggies in. I put cauliflower, peas, and carrots, and bok choy, and those chickpeas, and I put some ginger. I shredded some ginger. So yeah. So I added the veggies. I added the vegetable, I don't know how to say this word, bouillon, is that how to say it? Like vegetable stock. So I added some of that, and I have like this one that comes in a jar that I got on sale from Safeway. It's like all vegetables, and then there's those little cubes that you can get too, so you can use either one of those, or like vegetable broth. And then so I put that in, I put the veggies in, I put the noodles in, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have carrots and I wanted to add that, but it, like, everything was already kind of like boiling already, and like there were already vegetables in there, so I was like, oh, I don't want to like overcook it if I put the carrots in too late. So my trick for that is to shred the carrots, so then they cook a lot faster. So haha, that's one of my tips if you forget to put the carrots in. So I added like a little bit of sriracha, and I added some soy sauce, and yeah, I added some like that those sushi nourish. So I added like one sheet of that seaweed, and I tore it up and I just threw it in the bowl, and I put some avocado in it for some fat. Yum. And and yeah, super simple. So yeah, that was my video. I might have been a little bit scattered, but that's okay. I forgive myself because I love myself. So I hope that you have a brilliant day, have a brilliant week, a brilliant life, and take care. Bye.